What's up, YouTube? Welcome to ExceedTheHype.com. It's your boy Lucrecio coming at you with another video. Alright, today's video is about the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics and a blockbuster trade that may be voided. I know a lot of people can't believe it. It was the talk of the town all week. I wasn't going to even upload today because I uploaded 6 times this week or whatever, but I just said, hey, this news is so big I got to put up something about it. So, Cleveland flew Isaiah Thomas in to their facilities today so they can have a look at him, so they can go ahead and do the physical, because you know no trade can be finalized without everybody passing the physical, right? So Isaiah Thomas came and they checked him out and they were disappointed with the results, and now Cleveland is mulling over should they just void the whole deal, because they have the right to void the deal if one of the trade pieces fails the physical. So they have the option to void it. The question is, will they void it? And what will Boston do? The other option is to go back to the table and renegotiate, basically ask for more. That's what they're basically going to do. If they go back to the negotiation table, it's Jaylen Brown, it's a different pick, probably Boston's actual pick if they even have their pick. I think there was the right to switch picks on that Lakers pick. So there's that. They're either going to renegotiate or they're going to void the whole thing. If they void it, I'm pretty sure that the next call is going to be to the Phoenix Suns. It's like, all right, guys, you missed the opportunity. You have an extra life. Give us a real offer. Or maybe Milwaukee or any number of teams. Now that Kyrie Irving may be available again, he's going to be a hot commodity, and Cleveland successfully bid the price back up for his services with this whole thing, because they got such a big offer. So now if he goes back to Cleveland, he goes back on the market, because he's going back on the market right away. If he goes back on the market, you're going to start to see better offers because of what Boston did. Could this have been a scheme by Cleveland to fix the problem? Because Kyrie Irving wanted out, they reduced his trade value. They got a real offer. Now he's back on the market somehow. Could it bid the price right back up? Now, on Boston's side, I'm curious if if they didn't try to get away with one here. Could they have known that Isaiah Thomas is really hurt worse than most people thought, or that it was going to take quite a bit of time for him to get back to himself, and that's why they offered such a huge package? Because remember, everybody was like, whoa, all of that just for Kyrie Irving, when Kyrie Irving and Isaiah Thomas are very similar. So could Boston have been trying to, you know, kind of sweeten that pot to just ship him right on out of there, knowing that he wouldn't be the player that he previously was for them? Could that have been the situation? I wonder, could Cleveland have known, because I know they file a lot of paperwork, they're very in tune to what's going on with these players and their bodies. Could Cleveland have known the extent of his injuries and still made the trade, knowing that they could go back to the well later and get more, even if Boston wouldn't include it in the original deal? Would they be more willing to give up a Jaylen Brown or to give up an extra pick or whatever, just to not have a big mess, right? Because people burned Isaiah Thomas's jersey. That's done. So how's he gonna go back to that fan base after they treated him bad on the way back? So they may have to give up more, and just to not have a mess on their hands. It's just a very messy situation. And one thing I did think was interesting. I listened to a podcast, a Boston Celtics podcast. They were interviewing Kevin McHale. Kevin McHale said something very interesting. He said he was surprised at the Kyrie Irving Isaiah Thomas trade, because he knew, and understand that he's very good friends with Danny Ainge. He said he knew there was no way Isaiah Thomas could pass a physical, so he wondered why Cleveland would be making that trade. And he knew that he said there was no way that he would be able to pass a physical now. So if he knew that, how did Cleveland not know that? Or maybe did he have a conversation with Danny Ainge off the record or whatever, and that just came out in the interview? It just makes me wonder. It's like, Cleveland, okay, we have a deal, knowing they would go back to that well. It's like, no, you got to give us that other pick that we asked for. You got to give us Jaylen Brown now if you don't want to miss. Interesting. But we'll see. Once again, this trade could be voided. If it's avoided, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a three-way deal with Phoenix and New York. It's just a gut feeling. If it's not voided, Boston's going to have to come up with some more assets. Either a draft pick, and I'm thinking Jaylen Brown is the direction, because they're not going to give up Tatum. I think they really love Tatum. They're basically just going to test how much do you really love Kyrie Irving, Boston, because we're going to take you to the ringer. That's what it looks like. Cleveland is. So that's what the Cleveland stance looks like. Let me know what you guys think. Crazy situation. Kyrie Irving, Isaiah Thomas trade could be voided. At the very least, renegotiated, and more assets going to Cleveland, because Isaiah Thomas is a little bit worse than we all thought. So that's definitely a horrible thing. All right, see you next time.